Given that the majority of scholars place the date of the Gospels from 30 to 60 years after Christ, why should you lean on your own understanding and not trust in Bart Ehrman?
Well, it seems I'm probably like a lot of your skeptics who are reading these books, is that you certainly wouldn't you wouldn't lean on the understanding of any expert I would trot out in front of you from the Christian side, and I would understand that absolutely. I mean, experts are looking at facts, and from those facts they're drawing inferences. So we could either look back at the facts together, or we could just trust on the inference made by an expert on one side or an expert on the other. In jury trials, we will bring experts in to speak in front of a jury. But in the end, the jurors don't really necessarily just consider, because remember, we're going to have an expert that's going to say the best inference from this evidence is this. And then the defense is going to draw an expert who's going to say, well, actually, no, the best inference from this evidence is something else entirely. So the juries have got to figure out, well, which of these two experts then should we trust? And how they're going to do that is they're going to go back to the facts, back to the evidences from which these two experts are drawing inferences to see if the evidence itself is worthy of the inference, or the inference is worthy of the evidence. So I would say that I'm not going to rely on experts to make my case. I'm going to go back to the evidence, and I'm going to do my best to make a reasonable inference from the data. So here it's not so much that, remember, Bart had a mentor. Bart was trained up by one of the best biblical scholars of the last century. His name is Bruce Metzger. And Bruce was his mentor. He deferred a lot to Bruce. He thought the world of Bruce. He wrote a book with Bruce. He examined a lot of his first initial explorations were at the side of Bruce Metzger. And these two experts, with the exact same data points, the exact same manuscript evidence that they were looking at, Bruce was completely aware of everything that Bart is aware of. Bart is not aware of anything that Bruce wasn't aware of. And these two experts fall in entirely two different camps when it comes to their inferences from the manuscript evidence. Bart is a skeptic. He's not a Christian. Bruce was a very committed Christian and an ordained pastor as a result of his exploration. And when challenged on it, Bruce would say, look, I'm as skeptical as anybody. I have been skeptical I've dug through this, and I believe it's true based on the evidence. So again, what we have here we can pull up any number of experts, and the very man that Bart relied on as his mentor doesn't believe the same things that Bart believes. So in the end, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back, regardless of what any expert says about the dating of the Gospels. I'm going to ask myself, well, what is that inference based on? What is the evidence that they are basing their inference on? I want to go back to that and see if I agree with the inference. Not so much. So I'm not really interested in what the inferences are. I'm interested in the data points from which we draw inferences.
Gotcha. Very good.